In the popular perspective of humanity, the ego does not have access to our infinite essence. In order to know the true expanse of our potential awareness, we must resolve our belief in aging, suffering, and death. We must make the leap in consciousness to knowing our timeless presence of non-localized awareness. It is time to awaken into reality, the state of oneness that you have never left. From the illusory environment with which you have been engaged for eons as you attempted to prove to yourselves that you were autonomous beings who could live happily and successfully separated from God, your divine source love. I bring my heart full of light. With me come many of us, bringing the light, bringing evolution, bringing consciousness to this planet. Many have been waiting for a big event, something that happens all over the planet at the same time. They believe that only in this way will something happen. The light is intense on the planet, like never before. So we can say that this event, which would arrive on your planet in full force, is already happening. And why don't you see anything? You limit yourself to looking at the world around you. You don't want to look at your surroundings, which would be the rest of the planet. Is the planet the same as it always was? Is nothing different happening? So I'm going to tell you that you have no perception at all, because everything is different. The light within you is not only continuing to increase in frequency and also in information, but it is acclimating you to living in higher awareness. Notice the sense of peace and well-being that you are able to access nowadays, so much more readily than in the past. Be aware of how life is flowing more effortlessly, how you feel a deeper and even more natural sense of trust in things. These are indications of being in higher vibrational expression more often. These are all manifestations of your own vaster wholeness here. The light within you is also evolving as you are evolving. It is expanding as you live your life. It is taking upon the expression you give to it as you respond to your experiences and feel your desires and daydream and think and focus. When our attention is completely focused on our physical presence, we are unaware of our essence beyond the body. This awareness is limited by our beliefs about ourselves, our true nature, and our capabilities. Our ego does not believe that we have an infallible intuition and an eternal awareness. When we limit ourselves to ego consciousness in the empirical world of good and evil, the challenge is to find a hint of something greater and a way to open our awareness beyond our beliefs. In order to have a full human experience, we have had to make our beliefs strong enough that we could not transcend them until we are ready to return to our expanded self-realization. When we feel a strong attraction for knowing more of who we truly are, we can open our awareness to the intuitive knowing in the heart of our being. That was an insane momentary thought that you concocted as the unreal material environment. Seemingly disconnected from God, in which you experience yourselves as humans in form with no knowledge of your real and true nature. It is a state of intense forgetfulness which is now being dissolved. Sleep is no longer an option. You will awaken into the reality that is the eternal and full awareness of your oneness with Source in every moment of your endless, eternal, and most joyful existence. Disintegrating, falling apart as you choose to no longer believe in its existence and instead return to full awareness of the reality of love, God, the only reality, and of your eternal presence within it. The planet is fully involved in the ascension process, and each of you is being enveloped by this light in your own way. It's not like rain that falls and wets everyone equally. Each one is absorbing the light that arrives in their own way, the way they walk. What would be the point of involving a person who doesn't believe in anything, who has extremely limiting beliefs, and getting to them? and simply implanting a light of extreme wisdom to make them change their mind, what would happen? She would go crazy because she couldn't bear so many doubts, so many uncertainties. So, whoever is ready absorbs more. Those who are not there absorb less. Never forget, it is an intelligent light, and above all, it is light, and light does not impose anything. Each one is absorbing what their consciousness is capable of absorbing. Each person is absorbing what their bodies can absorb. All of these things generate energetic expression within you. All of these things exist vibrationally within you, within all that you are, and thus, too, within you. And yet you only realize what is being created when it manifests into a certain type of density of expression. When it is amplified to a certain degree, and when you are in accord with it, then you see it, have it seemingly arise within your experience. And yet the fundamental presence of it was here long before this. It just takes some time for you to let things into your manifest experience. You could change this dynamic, and in fact you are changing this dynamic more and more of late, as you allow yourself to create more momentum in feeling good. You liberate yourself from the slow cycles of manifestation that you've known for most of your life. As you ascend, it becomes easier to believe in your creations and to trust in your divine self. All of this is such a huge difference from the early phases of your embodiment. Reflect on this and see how far you have come. Self-realization comes when we release all of our desires and needs, and we allow ourselves to realize that we are infinitely powerful creators. This is our potential, and it becomes our experience when we realize what it is and how it feels. It means completely immersing ourselves in a new way of living. It is a new role in our play of consciousness. We become the intentional directors of our human experiences by how we use our attention and power of realization. If we could read our energy signature, we would understand how we attract the qualities of experiences that we do. It depends upon our polarity and the interaction of positive and negative feelings and thoughts. If we are not completely positive, we have doubts about ourselves. These disable our ability to create what we want. To gain awareness of our intuition and be able to rely on it, we can move ourselves beyond thought to just being a presence of awareness. He is mightily assisting you in your collective awakening process, as are all those in the non-physical realms, and also many who are presently informed purely for this purpose, including all of you reading or listening to this message. Awakening is the main event occurring on Earth right now, and the collective process that is bringing it to a most glorious fruition is held as a most powerful intent both by God, by us in the non-physical realms, and most powerfully by many millions of humans. The energy of that divine intent is way beyond your human abilities to conceive of. And I keep reminding you of it because you become so easily distracted by daily events in your human lives locally and around the world. However, the power of your individual intent, as well as your collective intent to awaken fully and most lovingly supported by God, is exceptionally intense and vigorous now. And consequently, no other option is possible or available. So don't expect something fantastic, something that arrives and is news, something that arrives and everyone talks about. We don't want to appear in the media. The concern is with each human being, not with propaganda. So everything we do has no fanfare. If that were the case, all the brothers in your heavens would have appeared all at once. Because it's not the time yet. Consciences need to be prepared. Yes, we know that everything has a right time, and that time is close. And we are acting in the correct way, just letting the light act in each one at its own time and in its own way. Will there be those who will feel nothing? Nothing will change. Nothing will evolve. Many, unfortunately, because they are so attached to their beliefs that they do not admit changing. They do not admit that there are other worlds, other lives. More and more, you recognize that you can feel good by focusing in ways that feel good, and that is enough. Increasingly, you actually find it to be enough to feel good, to feel happy, to feel rested and at peace. This too is a huge shift in your experience. You used to require much more validation and affirmation from outer sources to feel good about yourself. Now you simply feel good. It's a state of being. It's not about yourself. It's just a frequency state, and it's joyful to experience. You are much more readily able to access higher frequency states of being without it being about anything. Meaning the experience is becoming increasingly unconditional. This is you in your true power. See this and claim it. Celebrate it. Notice it. Feel good about this. Acknowledge how much has in fact changed and realize that this change has taken place within much effort on your part. In fact, as you stop pushing yourself, as you stop striving, more comes to you with greater ease. As we adjust our awareness to just being present, we can direct our attention to the radiance of our heart. This is the aspect of ourself that lives to enhance our life, regardless of what we do to it. When we align with our heart consciousness, we are in resonance with the consciousness that creates everything. Although it is everything and it is nothing, it can be known from within. Its quality is life enhancement in every way, and it is the energy that we can realize in gratitude as unconditional love and joy, and as the basis of all life. It manifests in every aspect of life, and it allows us to live in the energetic dimension that we choose to identify with. You are coming home, and that is what it seems like. But of course, you have never left. In fact, of course, you are already at home. You are simply dreaming that you are not. And to awaken is to release yourselves from that dream, which has by your own choice held you captive. Utterly fascinated and terrified for seemingly eons, and possibly countless previous lifetimes as humans in form. Your true lives, your real lives are lives in the eternal presence of God in utter and complete joy. In your dream, you most desperately miss that. You most desperately miss fully experiencing the love that you are in yourselves and as one with God. That is why you all spend so much of your human lives looking for love, seeking for love in relationships with others. Seeking the love that can only be found in the oneness of your eternal presence within God. As time passes, consciences will rise. They will stand out in relation to others. Then you will be able to see who is ready and who is not. And I assure you, there is no point in trying to show it to those who don't want to see it. Because each one is being guided by their higher self. It will not be you who will put anything into their minds. Understand this. So each one, look at your path, at what is being presented to you, and at what needs to be taken care of. So that the cleanings happen faster and faster, and you can evolve and increase the level of vibration, internally and externally. This is the moment you are going through right now, and in the same way that the cleansings are being done on you, Gaia is doing the same thing. Understand this.